I got the STIHL HT135 telescopic gas powered pole saw here. One issue I ran into here is just recently it's really hard to get this out. Saw's running great, but I'm having a really hard time extending the shaft out. So I was kind of looking online or looking in the manual last night, and like there isn't really any info on that in there. So I saw on some forums people were saying like grease the shaft and all this, and you know, use like a silicone lubricant kind of thing, which I was maybe gonna come do, but I popped this off and let's take a look. So if you run into that issue with this saw, I haven't cleaned it yet, but I took a look at it. So here's your locking mechanism for your pole extension. So I've just loosened it off. Get it right off of the screws. Pull that off. And then you'll see there's these little plastic, whatever they are. They're kind of like basically, I don't know what they're called. You know, I could look it up, but it doesn't really matter. Basically, it looks like their function is to sort of grip the shaft so it doesn't slide easily. Like it kind of keeps it more stable, I think, is sort of controls the speed of it. So that being said, so I'm looking at these. There's a bunch of them here. And the ones that are like clean, you know, they slide pretty easy. And I get to this one here, and I'll try to zoom in. This one's really dirty. So, you know, those ones are a little dirty, but not too bad. And they slide, like I said, relatively easy there. This one dirty, greasy one here that I got it zoomed in about as good as I can go. It's like quite sticky. It's a lot stickier to move than these ones. And then the rest that I look at, like there's a little bit of grime in there, but those ones seem to move a little easier. So our issue is definitely with these little plastic sliders here. So I'm just going to clean those off and just give them a light, you know, even like a silicone WD-40. And I'm sure that's going to do the trick. Maybe give it a quick shot. They're a little finicky to clean, but if they're really gummed up, you might have to like get a little brush and sort of kind of get it in there like you're brushing teeth kind of thing. Like, yeah. I got this little brush here, so I'm just gonna, yeah, actually that works a lot better than the air. Yeah, those little bristles get in there a lot better. Oh yeah, it's getting like a bunch of that crap out of there. So yeah, I was reading somewhere, one of the comments was saying something about there could be some buildup of some sediment buildup. Obviously from using the thing, you're gonna get dust in there and some grease and oil and whatever. So yeah, this brush looks like it's working pretty good. And some of them move a little better than others. They get harder to move when they're stuck together, I guess. That's the point, but anyway, let's see. That probably will help a bunch already, but So I'm gonna space these out and just see if we can get that spray kind of right into there. This will definitely help. The only thing is it's gonna add some grease onto the shaft. So like when I'm lengthening it, like, you know, you're gonna get a little greasy with it, but it is what it is. It's better than trying to fight it like you're at a job or whatever, you're using at home. You don't want to be fighting with this thing when you gotta lengthen it out, right? Especially like there's a lot of times I'm up on the orchard ladder with this, like I cannot be fighting with that up there. Like it's not gonna happen. And it happened yesterday. I was having to adjust it on the ground before I went up the ladder, so. Which can make you have to go up and down a lot more than you really need to. Okay, let's grab some spray. All right, well, this is what I got, this WD-40 white lithium grease. So this stuff's pretty good. I use this on my sawmill for the power head on the shafts of that. So it is a good lubricant. It's not as runny as the traditional WD-40. It's a little thicker, a little stickier, so. Okay, let's get a little bit of this. I'm not gonna go nuts with it. I just want a little bit. Like I don't need the shaft like super greasy. I'm going, and I go light too, right? And then like, if I need a little bit more, you know, I'll apply a little bit more, but I don't think I'm gonna need a lot of this really. Okay. Then I'm not making a big mess kind of thing. All right, let's see if those will. There we go. Oh yeah, sweet. Okay. That's more like it. Yeah, nice. I mean, there's no avoiding it. You're gonna have a little, the grease is gonna be a bit on here, right? Like the grease gun grease, you could do a little dab of that in there. That would work fine too. This stuff's nice. It's not super greasy, eh? So, but it lubricates well and kind of sticks on good. Not super messy, right? But yeah, like see that? That's how that should be running. So right, you're on the ground, whatever. I'm up in a tree on a ladder, balancing, right? Just standing there, like way better. Yeah, good. Okay, we're good. All right, we can get back to work here. Guys, I need to use this on a job today, so I'm happy that's problem solved. Well, I hope that helps you out. If you run into that issue, we'll check you on the next vid.